I stood in my office doorway at 6 in the morning, frozen, watching my assistant sit at my desk, wearing my clothes. Not similar clothes. My clothes. The Armani blazer I'd left hanging in my private closet yesterday. My Hermes scarf. And I could smell it from here, my perfume. Jo Malone with sage and sea salt. The bottle I kept in my desk drawer. She was on the phone, speaking in my voice. Or trying to. Yes, I've reviewed the Patterson contracts personally. Everything looks perfect. I'll sign off today. That's right, this is Victoria Ashford speaking. But it wasn't Victoria Ashford speaking. It was Sienna Graves, my executive assistant. Sitting in my chair, at my desk, wearing my identity like a costume. I cleared my throat. She spun around. The phone clattered onto the desk. Her face went white. Victoria, I wasn't expecting. Clearly, before I tell you what happened next, I need you to understand something. This wasn't just about clothes. This wasn't just about a desk. This was about a woman who wanted to erase me. And she almost succeeded. If this story sounds familiar, if you've ever felt like someone was trying to steal your life, please subscribe. Because what I discovered wasn't just identity theft. It was something far more calculated. Let me back up. Explain how I got here. Standing in my own office at dawn, looking at a woman who'd been slowly replacing me for 2 years. My name is Victoria Ashford. Everyone calls me Tori. I'm 42 years old, senior partner at Ashford & Partners, an architectural firm in Seattle. I built this company from nothing 8 years ago after my divorce. My ex-husband Richard and I had owned a firm together. When he had an affair with a client and our marriage imploded, I walked away. Took nothing. Started over. Built my own firm, my own reputation, my own success. It nearly killed me. 18-hour days, no social life, no friends outside work, no family nearby. Just me and my business. But it worked. Ashford & Partners grew. 50 employees, high-profile clients, luxury residential projects, commercial developments. My name became respected in Seattle architecture. I was proud, lonely, maybe, but proud. 2 years ago, I needed an executive assistant, someone to manage my calendar, handle clients, coordinate projects. The position required someone sharp, organized, trustworthy. Sienna Graves walked into the interview and I knew immediately she was perfect. 28 years old, polished, professional. Resume showed experience at 2 other architecture firms. She spoke intelligently about design, asked smart questions, and she said something that stuck with me. I've followed your career for years, Ms. Ashford. You're exactly the kind of professional I aspire to be. Working with you would be an honor. It was flattering. I'm not going to lie. I'd spent 8 years working alone. Building something alone? And here was this bright, ambitious young woman who admired what I'd built. I hired her on the spot. The first year was great. Sienna was everything I needed, efficient, proactive, anticipated my needs before I asked, stayed late when I stayed late, brought me coffee exactly how I liked it, handled difficult clients with grace. She became indispensable. More than an assistant, almost a friend, which was pathetic, maybe, that my closest relationship was with my employee. But I didn't have time for friends, didn't have energy for dating. Sienna filled that gap. Nathan Pierce, my coup and one of my few actual friends, didn't like her from the start. There's something off about her, he said 6 months after I hired Sienna. She watches you too closely. She's attentive. That's her job. No, it's different. She studies you. The way you talk, the way you move. It's unsettling. You're imagining things. She's just a good assistant. Tori, I've known you 10 years. Trust me. Something's wrong. But I dismissed it. Nathan was protective, and I was tired of being suspicious of everyone after my divorce. I wanted to trust someone. That was my first mistake. The second mistake was this morning. Coming back to the office at 6 a.m. because I'd forgotten my laptop at home and needed it for an early video call. The building was empty. Security waved me through. I took the elevator to the 12th floor. walked down the dark hallway toward my corner office, and saw the light on. I'd turned it off when I left at 11 last night. I always did. Obsessive about it. So who was in my office? I approached quietly. The door was slightly open. I could hear a voice inside, female, confident, authoritative. My voice, or an imitation of it. I pushed the door open, and that's when I saw her. Sienna, in my chair, at my desk, wearing my blazer, my scarf, smelling like my perfume. Now, standing in the doorway watching her scramble, I felt something cold settle in my chest. I wasn't expecting you, she said again. Voice higher now. Nervous. I came in early to catch up on emails, and I spilled coffee on my blouse, and I remembered you keep a spare blazer in your closet, and I thought, that's my Armani blazer. From my private closet, which is locked. How did you get the key? The door was unlocked. I just borrowed, and my scarf, my perfume, my desk. Were those unlocked too? She stood up, started unbuttoning the blazer, hands shaking. This looks terrible, I know, but it's not what you think. The Patterson client called early. I wanted to handle it professionally. I thought if you pretended to be me. No, if I represented the firm properly. I didn't mean get out of my chair, take off my clothes, and get out of my office. She flinched. For a second I saw something flash across her face. Not embarrassment, not shame, something else. Anger, maybe. Resentment. But it vanished quickly, replaced by tears. I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. I was just trying to help, and I made a huge mistake. Please let me explain. I don't want an explanation. I want you out of my office. Now. She grabbed her purse, still wearing my blazer. I held out my hand. She reluctantly shrugged it off, laid it on the desk, unwrapped the scarf, placed it next to the blazer. I'll come back later for my things, she said quietly. I understand if you need space. I'm truly sorry. She left. I stood there, shaking, trying to process what I'd just seen. I walked to my desk, sat down in my chair, still warm from her body. The thought made my skin crawl. I looked around. Everything seemed normal. But then I started noticing details. My desk drawers were closed but not quite aligned right, like someone had been through them. I opened the top drawer. My personal items, business cards, the perfume bottle, a spare pair of earrings were shifted. Someone had moved them. I checked my laptop. Password protected. But the login screen showed 3 failed attempts from early this morning. Someone had tried to get in. I walked to my private closet, a small room attached to my office where I kept spare clothes for long work days. The door was supposed to be locked. It wasn't. Inside, I realized several items were missing. A dress I thought was at the dry cleaner, a pair of shoes, another blazer. How long had this been happening? Nathan appeared in my doorway. Early riser like me. He took one look at my face and walked in, closed the door. What happened? I told him. Everything. Finding Sienna at my desk, wearing my clothes, using my voice, pretending to be me on the phone. His expression darkened. I told you. I know. This isn't just an assistant overstepping. This is something else. She said she spilled coffee, needed to borrow clothes for a client call, at 6 in the morning. In your locked closet, wearing your perfume, using your voice. Tori, come on. You're smarter than this. Then what is it? What's she doing? Watch her today. Really watch her. The way she dresses, the way she talks, the way she signs emails. How long has she been copying you? That's ridiculous. She's not. When's the last time you actually looked at her? I mean really looked. I tried to remember. Sienna was just ... there. Background, efficient. I never paid attention to what she wore or how she acted. She was my assistant. Why would I watch her? Nathan said again. I think you'll be surprised. He left. I sat at my desk, opened my email, started working, but I couldn't focus. At 9, Sienna came back, knocked on my door, eyes red like she'd been crying. Victoria, can we talk, please? I need to apologize properly. I gestured to the chair across from my desk. She sat, hands folded in her lap, contrite, embarrassed. I crossed a terrible line this morning. I admire you so much. Sometimes I forget where the boundary is between assistant and mentor. I should never have touched your things. Never have tried to handle a client call without running it by you first. It won't happen again. I promise. She sounded sincere, looked sincere. And I wanted to believe her, because firing her meant training someone new, meant disrupting my routine, meant admitting Nathan was right and I'd been blind. It can't happen again, I said. This is your one warning. Boundaries, Sienna, professional boundaries. Understand, completely. Thank you for giving me another chance. She left. I tried to go back to work, but Nathan's words kept echoing. Watch her, really watch her. So I did. I watched her walk across the office, noticed her hair. When had she cut it? It was shoulder length now, layered, exactly like mine. I watched her talk to a junior architect, noticed her hand gestures, the way she tilted her head. Familiar, too familiar. I watched her answer a phone call, heard her voice, the cadence, the phrases. Absolutely. I'll handle that personally. Let me circle back. My phrases, my voice, my mannerisms. How had I not seen this before? That evening, after everyone left, I went through my office more carefully, checked drawers, files, trash. In my wastebasket, under crumpled papers, I found something that made my blood run cold. A post-it note, in Sienna's handwriting. My signature written over and over and over. 20 times, like she was practicing, learning, perfecting. Victoria Ashford. Victoria Ashford. Victoria Ashford. I picked it up, hands shaking, stared at it. Nathan was right. This wasn't admiration. This wasn't an assistant crossing boundaries. This was something darker, something calculated, something deliberate. Sienna wasn't trying to work for me. She was trying to become me, and I had no idea how long she'd been doing it, or how far she'd go. I didn't sleep that night. Kept thinking about the post-it note. My signature practiced 20 times in Sienna's handwriting. Victoria Ashford, over and over. Like homework. Like preparation. For what? The next morning, I got to the office early. 7 a.m. Wanted to be there before Sienna arrived. Wanted to see her entrance. Her behavior. Everything Nathan said I'd been missing. She walked in at 7:30. I watched from my office. Door slightly open. Angle where I could see without being obvious, and I saw it immediately. What Nathan had been trying to tell me. She was wearing a navy sheath dress, structured, professional, almost identical to one I'd worn last week. Her hair was styled the same way I usually wore mine, pulled back in a low bun. She carried the same brand of bag I carried. Not the exact bag, but the same style, same color. She walked the way I walked, confident, purposeful, heels clicking on the floor with the same rhythm. When had this started? How had I not noticed? I watched her greet the receptionist. Good morning, Jennifer. Beautiful day, isn't it? The same phrase I used, the same warm tone. She stopped at Nathan's office, knocked, went inside. I couldn't hear the conversation, but I saw Nathan's face through his glass wall. Polite, professional, but cold. He didn't trust her. Never had. 10 minutes later, she knocked on my door. Morning, Victoria. I brought your usual. She handed me coffee. Vanilla oat milk latte, exactly how I liked it. Thank you. She stood there, hesitant. I wanted to say again how sorry I am about yesterday. I know I crossed a line. I've been thinking about it all night, about why I did it. And I think it's because I admire you so much I sometimes lose perspective. You're the kind of woman I want to be someday. Successful, respected, in control. Sometimes that admiration makes me act inappropriately. The words sounded rehearsed, practiced. Like she'd been working on this apology all night. We've addressed it, I said. Let's move forward. Of course. I have your schedule for today. The Morgan client at 10. Lunch with the mayor's office at noon. Design review at 3. And Richard called. I looked up my ex-husband. Yes. He said he needed to discuss something urgent. Financial documents. I told him you'd call back. When did he call? Yesterday afternoon. I left a message on your desk. Didn't you see it? I hadn't. I checked my desk. No message. What exactly did he say? Just that he needed to talk to you about financial documents. He sounded stressed. I offered to help, but he insisted on speaking with you directly. Why would Richard call me about financial documents? We'd finalized our divorce 8 years ago. Split everything. Signed papers. We barely spoke anymore. Why now? I'll call him later. Thank you. She left. I stared at my phone. Called Richard. Voicemail. Left a message. Then I checked my email. Scrolled through, stopped at one from a client, Patterson Construction. The same client Sienna had been talking to yesterday morning when I caught her at my desk. The email was addressed to me, but I hadn't written it. Dear Mr. Patterson, thank you for your patience regarding the contract review. I've gone through everything personally, and I'm pleased to confirm that all terms are acceptable. I'll have the signed documents to you by end of business today. Best regards, Victoria Ashford, Senior Partner, Ashford and Partners. I stared at it. I hadn't reviewed the Patterson contracts, hadn't approved anything, hadn't sent this email, but it was sent from my email address, with my signature block. In my writing style, I checked the sent folder. There it was. Sent yesterday at 6:47 a.m., while I was home, while Sienna was in my office, at my desk, wearing my clothes. She'd sent it. From my account. Pretending to be me. How did she have access to my email? I called at, asked for Gabriela Santos, our systems specialist. Gabby, I need you to check something. My email account. I need a log of all devices that have accessed it in the last month. Sure. Give me an hour. An hour later, she was in my office, laptop open, face grim. Tori, your email has been accessed from 3 devices, your work computer, your phone, and a third device, a laptop registered to Sienna Graves. What? She's been accessing your email for 6 months, daily, reading everything, sending emails as you, deleting messages before you see them. My hands went numb. Can you prove this? I can show you the access logs, timestamps, IP addresses, everything. Print it, all of it. And Gabby, don't tell anyone about this. Not yet. Nathan already knows. He asked me to investigate last week. He suspected something was wrong. Of course Nathan knew. He'd been trying to warn me for months. After Gabby left, I sat at my desk, trying to process. Sienna had been reading my emails for 6 months, sending messages as me, deleting things I was supposed to see. What else had she done? I checked my calendar. Noticed several personal appointments marked as canceled. A dentist appointment last month. A coffee date with an old friend 2 weeks ago. A yoga class I'd signed up for. I hadn't canceled them. I'd just assumed they'd been rescheduled. But Sienna had access to my calendar. She managed it. She could cancel anything, change anything, and I'd never know. I called my dentist. Hi, this is Victoria Ashford. I had an appointment last month that was canceled. Can you tell me who called to cancel? Let me check. Yes, your assistant called. Sienna Graves. She said you had a work emergency. I hadn't had a work emergency. I'd just forgotten about the appointment. Because it had been deleted from my calendar. I called my friend Melissa. We'd been close before my divorce. Drifted apart after. She'd reached out a few weeks ago, asked to meet for coffee. I'd been excited. Then the meeting never happened. I thought she'd canceled. Melissa, it's Tori. I'm so sorry about our coffee date. I don't know what happened. What are you talking about? You canceled on me. Your assistant called. Said you had a family emergency. I didn't have a family emergency. I didn't cancel. Tori, your assistant called me from your office number. She apologized profusely. Said you'd reschedule when things calmed down. I've been waiting for you to reach out. I never asked her to cancel. I wanted to see you. Silence. Then, that's weird. Why would she do that? I don't know. But I did know. Sienna was isolating me. cutting off my personal connections, making sure I had no one outside of work, no one but her. I hung up, hands shaking, called Nathan, "Can you come to my office now?" He arrived 2 minutes later. I showed him everything, the emails, the access logs, the canceled appointments. "She's not just copying you," he said. "She's replacing you, taking over your communications, your relationships, your identity." Why? What does she want? I don't know, but Tori, this is illegal. Identity theft, fraud. We need to document everything. And we need to confront her, officially. With HR, with lawyers. Not yet. I want to know how far this goes. What else she's done. If we confront her now, she just deny it. Play victim. I need more evidence. Then what do you want to do? I want to catch her, clearly, undeniably. I want her to admit what she's doing. That afternoon, I confronted her. Casually in my office, door closed. "Sienna, I need to ask you something. Have you been accessing my email account?" Her face didn't change, didn't flinch, just calm, confused. "Your email? No. Why would I? I have access logs showing your laptop has been logging into my account for 6 months. That's impossible. I've never accessed your email. I have my own account. The IT department has proof." She shook her head. Slowly, like I was confused, like I'd misunderstood something. "Victoria, I think there's been a mistake. Maybe my laptop was used by someone else. Or maybe the logs are wrong. I would never invade your privacy like that. You know me. What about the Patterson email? The one sent from my account yesterday morning. I sent that on your behalf. You asked me to. Remember, you were rushing out the door Tuesday night. You said to handle the Patterson approval. I thought you wanted me to send it from your account to make it official. I hadn't asked her to do that, but her version sounded plausible, and I couldn't prove otherwise. What about my appointments? The ones canceled without my knowledge. Which appointments? My dentist. Coffee with Melissa. Yoga class. You asked me to cancel those. You were overwhelmed. You said you needed to clear your schedule. I was just doing what you told me. I never said that. Victoria. Her voice got softer, concerned, like she was talking to someone fragile. You've been under a lot of stress lately. Working 18-hour days. Not sleeping. I've noticed you forgetting things. Small things. Conversations we've had. Instructions you've given me. I've been trying to help. To take things off your plate. I'm worried about you. I'm not forgetting things. You're lying. I'm not lying. I'm concerned. You're exhausted. Maybe you should take some time off. See a doctor. Talk to someone. She was gaslighting me, right to my face, making me sound paranoid, unstable. And the worst part, a small part of me wondered if she was right. Had I been forgetting things? I was stressed, working too much, not sleeping well. What if I had asked her to cancel appointments and couldn't remember? No. The access logs were real. Gabby had shown me Diana was lying, but she was good, so good. Her face showed nothing but concern, worry, loyalty. "I think we're done here," I said. "Get back to work, of course. And Victoria, if you need anything at all, I'm here. You can trust me." She left. I sat at my desk, shaking, furious, helpless. She was good, too good. She'd twisted everything, made me sound irrational, made herself sound like a concerned employee just trying to help her overwhelmed boss. Nathan came back an hour later. "How'd it go?" She denied everything. Made me sound crazy. Said I'm stressed and forgetting things. You're not crazy. We have proof. Proof she'll explain away. She's smart, Nathan. She's been planning this. And I don't know how to stop her. Then we get more evidence. We watch her. We document everything. And when we have enough, we bury her. That night, I went home, exhausted, scared, doubting myself. I pulled out the Post-it note, the one with my signature practiced over and over. Stared at it. This was real. This was happening. Sienna was stealing my identity, my life, my connections, and she was making me look insane for noticing. I took a photo of the Post-it note, sent it to Nathan. Evidence. Save everything. We're going to need it. He texted back immediately. Already on it. Don't let her gaslight you. We know the truth, but knowing the truth and proving it were two different things, and Sienna was very, very good at covering her tracks. The next morning, Nathan walked into my office at 7:30, closed the door, locked it. We need to talk. Privately, he pulled out his laptop, opened a folder, files, emails, documents. Gabby and I have been digging deeper. What we found, Tori, it's worse than we thought. Show me. He turned the laptop toward me. An email thread between Sienna and one of our biggest clients, the Henderson Luxury Tower Project. $2 million contract. My design. My project. I'd been working on it for 8 months. But the emails showed something different. Mr. Henderson, thank you for your continued confidence in this project. As the lead architect, I want to assure you that every detail is receiving my personal attention. The design modifications we discussed are already underway. I'm committed to making this your signature property. The email was signed, Sienna Graves, lead architect, Ashford and Partners, lead architect. My title, my project, my design. I scrolled down. More emails. Sienna positioning herself as the primary contact, the creative force, the architect responsible. When did this start? 3 months ago. Right after you brought her to the Henderson site meeting. She's been slowly taking credit, redirecting communication, making herself indispensable to the client. Does Henderson know she's not the lead architect? I don't think so. Look at this. Nathan clicked another file. A phone transcript. Gabby had been monitoring Sienna's calls. Legal, since they were made on company phones for company business. Sienna's voice. Professional, confident. Mr. Henderson, this is Sienna Graves. I wanted to personally update you on the tower design. Victoria Ashford has been dealing with some health issues lately. Nothing serious, but she's taking a step back from active projects. I'll be your primary contact moving forward. My blood went cold. Health issues. I don't have health issues. She's setting you up, making the client think you're unreliable, sick, unable to handle the work. So when she leaves and takes the project with her, it'll seem natural, justified. She's planning to leave. Look at this. More emails. Sienna, 2 competitors, other architecture firms. Inquiries about positions, but not as an assistant. As a senior architect, with a portfolio. My portfolio, designs I'd created, projects I'd completed, all presented as hers. She's been building a resume using your work, your reputation, your name. And when she's ready, she'll jump to another firm. Take your clients, take your projects, and leave you with nothing. I couldn't breathe, couldn't process. This wasn't just identity theft anymore. This was career theft. Intellectual property theft. She was stealing my entire professional life. There's more, Nathan said quietly. Your ex-husband, Richard. He called me yesterday. Asked if you were having financial trouble. What? Why would he think that? Because someone called him 2 weeks ago, from your office number, claiming to be you. Asked him for copies of your divorce settlement, bank account information, tax returns. Said you needed them for an audit. I never called him. I haven't talked to Richard in months. I know. Sienna called him, pretending to be you. He sent her everything. Financial documents, account numbers, everything. The room was spinning. Why would she want my financial information? Nathan pulled out another document. A credit report. My name. My social security number. But accounts I'd never opened. 3 credit cards. Opened in the last 6 months. All in my name. Bills going to a different address. An apartment in Capitol Hill. She's been using your identity to open credit accounts, running up charges. And you won't know until the collections agencies start calling. Or until you try to get a loan and discover your credit is destroyed. How much? $43,000 so far, and climbing. I stood up, walked to the window, looked out at Seattle, gray sky, rain starting, my city, my life, being stolen piece by someone I'd trusted. We go to the police now, Today, this is fraud, identity theft. We have evidence, we do. But Tori, we need more. We need to understand the full scope. How long has she been doing this? Has she done it before? Who else is involved? If we go to the police now with what we have, a good lawyer will poke holes. She'll claim you authorized everything, that you're having a breakdown, that you're targeting her unfairly. So what do? We investigate her. Completely. Before she knows we're onto her. How? Nathan hesitated. She's going out of town this weekend. Told everyone she's visiting family in Portland. It's the perfect time to search her workspace, her files, see what else we can find. That's illegal. So is what she's doing. He was right, and I was done playing fair with someone who'd been stealing my life for 2 years. Do it. Friday night, after everyone leaves, I want to know everything. Friday afternoon, Sienna stopped by my office, smiled, professional, friendly, like she hadn't been systematically destroying my life. I'm heading out early, family emergency in Portland. I'll be back Monday. My cell will be on if you need anything. Family emergency. Is everything okay? My mother fell, broke her hip. I need to help her get settled. But I'll stay connected. I can handle anything remotely if needed. Take the time you need. Family comes first. She smiled, grateful. Thank you, Victoria. You're the best boss I've ever had. She left. I watched her walk out. Navy dress, low bun, my walk, my style, my life. After she was gone, Nathan came in. She's lying about Portland. How do you know? I had Gabby check her credit card. She booked a hotel room in Seattle, downtown. She's not going anywhere. Why lie? I don't know, but we're searching her desk tonight. And I think we should search her apartment too. We don't have a key. Actually, we might. He pulled out a small evidence bag. Inside, a silver key. I found this in your office, Wednesday night, when we were documenting everything. It was taped under your desk drawer. Hidden, under my desk. Why would Sienna hide a key under my desk? I don't know, but I ran the key code. It's a standard apartment key. Capitol Hill area. The same neighborhood where those credit card bills are being sent. You think it's her apartment key? I think she hid it in your office so she'd have access, so she could get in any time, whether you were here or not. It's a backup, and she probably forgot about it. I looked at the key. Small, silver, ordinary. But potentially the key to understanding what Sienna was really doing. We can't break into her apartment. That's not breaking in if we have a key. And technically, we found the key in your office. We're just returning it. After we make sure it's hers. He was rationalizing. So was I, but I didn't care anymore. Sienna had stolen my identity, my credit, my projects, my reputation. I needed to know why. I needed to know what else she'd taken. Tonight, I said, after we search her desk. We go to that address. We waited until 8 p.m. The office was empty. Cleaning crew had finished. Just us in the quiet. Nathan and I went to Sienna's desk. She sat right outside my office. Assistant station, visible, central, perfect for watching everything. Her desk was neat, organized, professional. But when Nathan opened her drawers, we found things that made my skin crawl. A photo of me, printed taped inside the top drawer, where only she could see it. Not a group photo, just me. Taken at a client meeting, zoomed in, focused on my face, my business cards, a stack of them, but with her name printed underneath mine. Sienna Graves, senior partner. Like she was planning to replace the title, replace me. A notebook, filled with notes, my schedule, my habits, my routines. 7 a.m. arrives office, always coffee first, vanilla oat milk latte. 8:30 a.m., checks email, responds to clients personally. 12 p.m. lunch, usually at desk, salad, same restaurant. 6 p.m., most staff leaves. Victoria stays until 8 or 9. 2 years of observations, documented, studied, like research, like preparation. She's been stalking you, Nathan said quietly, documenting everything, learning you. We kept searching, found more. Copies of my signatures, practice sheets. Getting better each time. Getting perfect. A folder labeled Phase 2. Inside, documents, contracts with other architecture firms, job offers, contingent on bringing clients. My clients. She was planning to leave, take Henderson Tower, take other projects, and position herself as the architect. Leave me with nothing. We need to photograph all of this, Nathan said. Document everything. Then we go to her apartment. We took photos, hundreds of them, every document, every note, every piece of evidence. Then we locked her desk, left the office, drove to Capitol Hill. The address from the credit card bills was a modern apartment building, nice, expensive. How was an assistant affording this? Unless she wasn't paying rent. Unless she was using my credit cards. My stolen identity. We went to the main entrance. Tried the key. It didn't fit. Wrong building, Nathan said. We tried 3 more buildings in the area. Finally, on the 4th one, the key worked. 5th floor. Apartment 5C. According to the building directory, it was leased to V. Ashford, my name. She'd rented an apartment in my name. We stood outside the door, both of us hesitating. This is crazy, I said. We shouldn't be here. We're already here. And Tori, we need to know. What if there's evidence inside? What if there's something that explains all of this? He was right. We'd come this far. We had to see. I used the key. The door unlocked. We stepped inside, and I stopped breathing. The apartment was a mirror of my life. Photos of me on the walls, hundreds of them. Some I recognized, some I didn't. Taken at work, at coffee shops, walking to my car. Candid shots. Surveillance. But more disturbing were the clothes, a closet full of them. Dresses, blazers, skirts, exact replicas of my wardrobe. Same brands, same styles, same colors. On the dresser, makeup, my makeup. Same products, same shades. On the nightstand, books, my books. Same titles, same editions, annotated, underlined, like she was studying them. This is a shrine, Nathan whispered. She's not just copying you. She's obsessed with you. We kept looking, found more. Notebooks filled with writing. Practice pages. My handwriting. Getting closer each time. Getting perfect. A laptop, locked, but plugged in. Charging. And then I saw the wall. The far wall. Floor-to-ceiling documents. Organized. Categorized. My entire life. Tax returns. Bank statements. Medical records. Everything. But at the center, a timeline. Written in marker. Detailed. Planned. Phase 1. Integration. Get hired. Gain trust. Learn everything. Phase 2. Replacement. Take credit. Build portfolio. Position for departure. Phase 3. Elimination. Leave firm. Take clients. Destroy reputation. Elimination. The word sent ice through my veins. Nathan, we need to leave. Now, wait, look at this. He was holding a folder. Newspaper clippings. Articles from Denver. 5 years ago, Denver architect sues former assistant for identity theft and fraud. The article detailed a case. An architect named Patricia Hayes. Her assistant had systematically stolen her identity, her clients, her reputation. Almost destroyed her career before being caught. The assistant's name, Sarah Mitchell. But the photo, the woman in the photo being led out of court in handcuffs, it was Sienna. Different name, different hair, but the same face, the same eyes. She's done this before, I whispered. She finds successful women, studies them, copies them, steals their lives, and when she's done, she disappears and does it again. We need to call the police. Right now. A sound behind us. The front door opening. Keys jingling. We both froze. Footsteps in the hallway. Getting closer. Sienna's voice. On the phone. I'll be there in an hour. Just need to grab something from my apartment. She was supposed to be in Portland, but she was here. Walking toward us. Nathan grabbed my arm, pulled me toward the bedroom. We ducked inside, closed the door. Silently. Through the crack, I saw her enter, still on the phone, still talking, walking toward the wall. The timeline, the shrine, dot. She stopped, stared at the desk. Where we'd been standing, where we'd moved papers. She ended the call, slowly, deliberately, and spoke into the silence. I know you're here, Victoria. I can smell your perfume. We stood frozen in the bedroom. Nathan's hand gripping my arm. Both of us trying not to breathe, not to move, not to make a sound. Through the crack in the door, I could see Sienna standing in the living room, perfectly still, staring at the desk where we'd been looking through her files. I know you're here, Victoria. I can smell your perfume. My heart was pounding so hard I thought she'd hear it. Nathan's phone was in his hand. He was trying to dial 911 silently, but the apartment was too quiet. Any sound would give us away. Sienna walked slowly toward the bedroom, each step deliberate, calm, like she had all the time in the world. You shouldn't have come here. This is my space, my sanctuary. You're not supposed to see this yet. I wasn't ready to show you. Nathan positioned himself between me and the door, protective, ready. The door opened. Sienna stood there, looking at us. No surprise on her face, no shock, just cold recognition. There you are. For a long moment, nobody moved. Then Nathan spoke, voice steady. Sienna, we're leaving. Don't try to stop us. She laughed, not a nervous laugh, a genuine laugh, like he'd said something amusing. Stop you, Nathan. I don't need to stop you. You've already seen everything. The photos, the clothes, the timeline. You know exactly what I've been doing. You're sick, I said, voice shaking. You need help. I don't need help. I need what you have. What you've always had. What you don't even appreciate. What are you talking about? She stepped into the room. Closer. Nathan tensed. Everything. Victoria. Your name. Your reputation. Your business. Your life. You were handed everything. Wealthy family. Good education. Connections. And what did you do with it? You built a mediocre firm. Average designs. Nothing special. Nothing brilliant. If it's so mediocre, why do you want it? Because it's easy. Because people already respect the name Victoria Ashford. Because I can take what you built and make it better. Make it what it should have been if someone talented was running it. You're delusional. Her face changed. The calm mask cracked. Rage underneath. I'm delusional. I'm the one who's been doing your job for 2 years. I'm the one clients actually want to work with. I'm the one who redesigned the Henderson Tower because your original concept was boring. But you got the credit. You always get the credit. Because you have the name, the title, the privilege. You stole my identity. Opened credit cards in my name. Lied to clients. That's not doing my job. That's fraud. It's not fraud if I'm better than you. If I deserve it more than you, I'm younger, smarter, more creative. I should be the one with the firm, the reputation, the life, not you. Nathan's hand was moving slowly, pulling his phone from his pocket. Screen lit up. 911 dialed. I could see it. Connection made. Dispatcher on the line, listening. You did this before? I said, keeping her talking, keeping her distracted. In Denver. To Patricia Hayes. You stole her identity, her career. They arrested you. They arrested Sarah Mitchell, not Sienna Graves. Different name, different person. I learned from that mistake. This time, I was more careful. This time, I built the foundation properly. 2 years of integration. Learning everything. Becoming you. By the time I'm ready to take over completely, no one will question it. No one will even remember you were here first. You can't erase me. People know me. They'll know you're not me. Will they? You've isolated yourself. No friends, no family nearby, no personal life. You're already disappearing. I'm just accelerating the process. In 6 months, I'll be Victoria Ashford, and you'll be nothing. A footnote. A former partner who had a breakdown and quit. People will barely remember your name. You're insane. I'm ambitious. There's a difference. She reached into her pocket, pulled out something. I couldn't see what. Nathan saw. His body went rigid. Sienna, put that down. Why? You're in my apartment. You broke in. I have every right to defend myself. I saw it then. A knife. Small, utility knife. The kind used for opening boxes, cutting materials. But sharp. Dangerous. We didn't break in, Nathan said carefully. We had a key. We found it in Victoria's office. We thought we were returning it. You're lying. You came here to spy on me. To ruin everything I've built. And I can't let you do that. She stepped closer. Nathan pushed me behind him. Sienna, think about this. If you hurt us, you'll go to prison. Everything you've worked for will be gone. Is that what you want? What I want is for Victoria to understand. To see what I've built. To appreciate the work I've done. I've studied her for 2 years, learned everything. Her voice, her walk, her habits, her signatures. I'm more Victoria Ashford than she is now. I've earned this identity. She's just borrowing it. You're sick, I said again. Couldn't help it. Couldn't stay quiet. Her face twisted. I'm not sick. I'm what you should have been. You wasted your talent. Your opportunities. Your privilege. I'm just taking what you don't deserve. She lunged forward. Nathan moved fast, grabbed her wrist. The knife clattered to the floor. They struggled. Sienna was strong. Fought like someone with nothing to lose. Tori, get out. Now. I ran. Out of the bedroom. Through the apartment. Toward the front door. Behind me, I heard them crashing. Furniture breaking. Nathan shouting. I got to the hallway. Screamed. Help. Someone help. Call 911. Doors opened. Neighbors appearing. Concerned faces. Questions. There's a fight. 5th floor. Apartment 5. C. Please help. A man ran toward the apartment. Another was already on the phone. Police are on the way. Stay here. Don't go back in. But Nathan was still in there. With Sienna. With the knife. I started back. The man grabbed my arm. Ma'am, wait for the police. My friend is in there. Nathan stumbled out. Bleeding from a cut on his arm. Not deep, but bleeding. Sienna behind him. Calm now. Eerily calm. No longer fighting. Just walking. Like nothing had happened. You shouldn't have come here, she said quietly. To me. Ignoring everyone else. This was supposed to be perfect. You were supposed to disappear slowly. Naturally, now everything's ruined. Sirens. Getting closer. Police arriving. Officers came up the stairs. Weapons drawn. Assessing the situation. Everyone stepped back. Hands where we can see them. Sienna put her hands up. Compliant. Cooperative. Officers, these people broke into my apartment. I was defending myself. That's not true, Nathan said. She attacked us. She's been stalking Victoria. Stealing her identity. We have evidence. In the apartment. Photos. Documents. Everything. The officers looked at me. Ma'am, what's your name? Victoria Ashford. This apartment was rented in my name. But I've never been here before tonight. She rented it. Using my identity. My credit. One officer went into the apartment. Came back out 30 seconds later, face grim. We need detectives, now, and a forensics team. They arrested Sienna, handcuffed her, read her rights. She didn't resist, didn't fight, just stood there, calm, almost bored. As they led her past me, she stopped. Looked directly at me. This isn't over, Victoria. You can't erase 2 years of work. I'm already you. I'll always be you. Even from prison. They took her away. Down the stairs. Into a patrol car. I collapsed against the wall. Shaking. Nathan sat next to me, holding his bleeding arm. We're okay. We're safe. But I didn't feel safe. I felt violated. Terrified. Like my life had been stolen and I didn't know if I'd ever get it back. Detective Rios arrived an hour later. 50s, sharp eyes. Specialized in identity theft and fraud. She interviewed us in the hallway while forensics processed the apartment. Tell me everything. From the beginning, we did the clothes, the desk, the emails, the credit cards, the timeline. Denver, Patricia Hayes, all of it. She took notes, asked questions, recorded everything. This is one of the worst cases I've seen. The level of planning, the obsession, the execution. She's not just a criminal. She's a predator. Specifically targeting successful women. Is Patricia Hayes the only other victim? Rios hesitated. No, we've been investigating Sienna Graves, or whatever her real name is, for 6 months, since a woman in Phoenix reported similar behavior. Before Denver, there was someone in Austin. Before that, Portland. We think there are at least 4 victims, possibly more. 4 victims, 4 women, 4 lives destroyed. Why wasn't she in prison? Why was she free to do this to me? She's smart. Changes her name. Changes her appearance. Moves cities. By the time one victim builds a case, she's gone. New identity. New target. We've been trying to connect the cases. Build a federal prosecution. Your evidence, the apartment, the timeline, the documentation. This is what we needed. She's not getting away this time. What happens now? We process the scene. Document everything. She'll be arraigned Monday morning. With your testimony and the physical evidence, we can hold her without bail. She's a flight risk. And with the prior cases, we're looking at federal charges: identity theft, fraud, stalking. She'll be in prison for years, maybe decades. Good. Rios looked at me, sympathetic. Ms. Ashford, I need you to understand something. What she did to you, the level of obsession, the planning, the execution, this is rare. This is someone who genuinely believed she could become you, replace you, erase you. That's not normal criminal behavior. That's pathological. Are you saying she's insane? I'm saying she's dangerous, and you're lucky. Most of her victims didn't catch on until it was too late, until their credit was destroyed. Their careers ruined. Their identities stolen so completely, they couldn't prove who they were anymore. You caught her. You stopped her. You saved yourself. But I didn't feel saved. I felt traumatized, violated. Like I'd been living with a parasite for 2 years. Someone who'd been slowly consuming my life while I smiled and thanked her for her help. Nathan and I went back to my apartment. Dawn was breaking. We'd been up all night. He cleaned his arm. Butterfly bandages. No stitches needed. You should sleep, he said. I can't. Every time I close my eyes, I see her, in my office, wearing my clothes, sitting at my desk, living in that apartment surrounded by photos of me. She's in jail now. She can't hurt you anymore. Can't she? Nathan. She spent 2 years becoming me, learning me, copying me. She knows everything about me, my habits, my routines, my passwords, my life. Even in prison, she has that. She has pieces of me I can't get back. Then we build new pieces. Change passwords, change routines, change everything she knew. You take back your identity, your life. You don't let her win. He was right. But it felt impossible. Overwhelming. Like I was standing in the rubble of my life trying to figure out how to rebuild. I need to tell the staff, the clients, everyone, before they hear it from the news. We'll do it together. Monday morning, we'll explain everything. Show them the evidence. Make sure they understand you were the victim, not the problem. Monday felt like a lifetime away. But it was only 2 days. 2 days to process, to recover, to prepare for the aftermath. I looked at Nathan, his arm bandaged, his face exhausted. He'd risked himself to protect me, to help me, to believe me when no one else did. Thank you, I said quietly, for everything, for believing me, for investigating, for being there tonight. I couldn't have done this without you. You would have figured it out eventually. You're stronger than you think. I don't feel strong. I feel shattered. Then we'll put you back together, piece by piece. Starting now. Monday morning came too fast. I hadn't slept, kept replaying Friday night. Sienna's face, her voice. I'm already you. I'll always be you. But Nathan was right. She wasn't me. She'd never been me. And today, I was taking my life back. 9 a.m., I called an all-staff meeting. 50 employees gathered in the main conference room, confused, worried. Sienna's sudden absence had been noticed. Rumors were already spreading. I stood at the front, Nathan beside me. My hands were shaking but my voice was steady. I need to tell you something. about Sienna Graves, about what's been happening at this firm, and about why she was arrested Friday night. You could hear a pin drop. Everyone staring, waiting. I told them everything. The clothes, the emails, the identity theft, the credit fraud, the apartment shrine, the timeline, Denver, the other victims, all of it. Some people looked shocked. Others looked like pieces were finally clicking into place. A few looked sick. When I finished, there was silence. Then Jennifer, our receptionist, raised her hand. "I'm so sorry, Victoria. I noticed things. Small things. The way she talked to clients, the way she answered your phone sometimes. But I thought it was just her being helpful. I should have said something. It's not your fault. She was good, professional. She fooled all of us." Our lead designer, Marcus Chen, spoke up. "What happens to the projects she was working on? Henderson Tower. The others. I'll be taking over direct management of all active projects. I'm reaching out to every client personally, explaining the situation, assuring them of continuity and quality. Some may leave. That's their choice. But most, I believe, will stay." "What about Sienna? Where is she now?" "In custody. She was arraigned this morning. Federal charges, identity theft, fraud, stalking. The prosecutor is asking for no bail. She's a flight risk. She's done this to at least 4 other women in 4 other cities. This time, she's not getting away." The meeting lasted an hour. Questions, concerns, support. By the end, I felt exhausted but lighter. The secret was out. The truth was known, and my team stood with me. Over the next 2 weeks, I called every client personally, explained what happened, showed them documentation, proved that Sienna had been acting without authorization, that her claims of being lead architect were false, that I was still in charge, still capable, still committed. Most stayed, a few left, but Mr. Henderson, the $2 million luxury tower project, stayed. "Victoria, I've known your work for 5 years. I trusted you before Sienna. I trust you now. Let's finish this project the right way." That conversation made me cry. Relief, gratitude, validation. Sienna's arraignment was quick. She appeared via video from the county jail, wearing orange, hair pulled back, no makeup, looking smaller, less polished, less like me. The prosecutor laid out the charges: identity theft, wire fraud, stalking, criminal impersonation, fraudulent use of credit. The list went on. Sienna's public defender argued for bail. "My client has no prior convictions under her current identity. She has ties to the community. She's not a flight risk." The prosecutor countered. "Your Honor, the defendant has used at least 5 different identities in the last 10 years. She's victimized at least 4 women across 4 states. She rented an apartment in the victim's name, opened credit accounts in the victim's name, accumulated over $40,000 in fraudulent charges. She planned to steal the victim's business. She attacked the victim and a witness with a knife when confronted. She is absolutely a flight risk. She is absolutely dangerous. We request remand without bail." The judge didn't hesitate. Bail denied. Defendant will remain in custody pending trial. Sienna's face didn't change, didn't react, just stared at the camera, cold, empty. The trial was set for 6 months out, but 3 months in, the prosecutor called me. Sienna's lawyer approached us about a plea deal. We offered 15 years. She rejected it. She wants to go to trial. She wants to tell her story. She thinks a jury will sympathize. Will they? Not when they see the evidence. The apartment? The photos? The timeline? The previous victims? She's delusional if she thinks she can win this. She was delusional. We'd always known that. But now 12 strangers would see it too. The trial lasted 2 weeks. I testified, walked the jury through everything. Showed them the post-it note, with my signature practiced 20 times. Showed them the emails she'd sent as me. Showed them the apartment photos, the shrine. Nathan testified. Showed his scar from the knife. Described the attack, the fear, the desperation. Detective Rios testified. Connected Sienna to 4 other cases. 4 other women. 4 other identities stolen. Patricia Hayes flew in from Denver. Testified about her experience 5 years ago. How Sienna, then Sarah Mitchell, had done the exact same thing. Stolen her identity, her clients, her reputation. How it took years to rebuild. How she still had nightmares. The defense tried. Argued that Sienna was mentally ill. That she needed treatment, not prison. That she was a victim of her own delusions. But the jury saw through it. Saw the planning. The calculation. The predatory behavior. Guilty, on all counts. Sentencing came 8 months after her arrest. The judge looked at Sienna. No sympathy. No mercy. Ms. Graves, or whatever your real name is, you are a predator. You target successful women. Study them. Steal their identities. Destroy their lives. And when you're done, you move on to the next victim. You've shown no remorse. No understanding of the harm you've caused. You've rejected treatment. Rejected rehabilitation. You believe you're entitled to take what others have built. You're not. And this court will ensure you don't have the opportunity to victimize anyone else. 12 years. Federal prison. No parole eligibility for 10 years. Sienna's face finally showed emotion. Shock. Disbelief. Like she genuinely thought she'd get away with it. Like she genuinely believed she'd done nothing wrong. They led her away. I watched her go. And I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Free. 1 year later, my life looked completely different. I'd been in therapy twice a week for 6 months, processing the trauma, learning to trust again, learning to set boundaries, learning that what happened wasn't my fault. The firm was thriving. We'd landed 3 new major projects, hired 5 new architects, promoted to junior designers, and I'd made Nathan a full partner. Ashford and Pierce. It felt right. Nathan and I had started dating, slowly, carefully, building something real, something based on trust and respect and shared experience, not obsession, not imitation, just genuine connection. We went on actual dates, to restaurants, to movies, to the waterfront. We talked about things other than work. We laughed. We built a relationship that was ours. Not something stolen or copied or manufactured. I'd also started speaking publicly. Corporate conferences, business schools, women's leadership groups, sharing my story, warning others about the signs of identity theft, toxic employees, boundary violations. Today, I was speaking at a conference in San Francisco. Protecting your business and identity in the digital age. 500 people in the audience. Mostly business owners, entrepreneurs, professionals. I told my story. From the beginning. The clothes at the desk, the emails, the apartment, the arrest, the trial, the recovery. When I finished, the room was silent. Then someone started clapping. Then everyone. Standing ovation. Afterward, women came up to me, sharing their own stories. Near misses, warning signs they'd ignored. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for being brave. One woman caught my attention. 50s, professional, familiar face. Ms. Ashford, I'm Patricia Hayes. We testified together at Sienna's trial. Patricia, of course, how are you? Better now, knowing she's in prison, knowing she can't do this to anyone else. I wanted to thank you. For catching her. For stopping her. For finishing what I couldn't. You started it. You reported her in Denver. You built the case that connected everything. I just had the evidence she got sloppy with. We both survived. That's what matters. And we're both stronger for it. She was right. I was stronger, wiser, more careful, but also more confident. More certain of who I was, what I'd built, what I deserved. That evening, I flew back to Seattle. Nathan picked me up at the airport. Kissed me, asked how the conference went. Good, really good. I think I'm finally done being afraid. You were never afraid. You were cautious. There's a difference. We drove home. To my apartment. The one I'd reclaimed, redecorated, made mine again. No more ghosts. No more shadows of Sienna. I looked at the photos on my wall. My real photos. My real life. Not a shrine. Not an obsession. Just memories, achievements, connections. And I realized something. Sienna had tried to steal my identity, my life, my success, but she'd failed. Because you can't steal what someone is. You can only copy what they do. And I was so much more than what I did. I was Victoria Ashford, architect, partner, survivor, woman rebuilding her life, piece by piece. And I was finally whole again. If this story resonates with you, if you've ever felt like someone was trying to take what you built, steal what you earned, become who you are, please share it, comment below, tell your story. Because the more we talk about this, the more we warn each other, the harder it is for predators like Sienna to succeed. Trust your instincts. Watch for the signs. Protect your identity. Set boundaries. And never let anyone make you feel crazy for noticing when something's wrong. I walked into my office unexpectedly and found my assistant sitting at my desk wearing my clothes. That moment changed everything. Showed me the truth. Saved my life. Don't wait for that moment. Pay attention. Protect yourself. You deserve to own your own identity, your own success, your own life. And nobody, no matter how charming, how competent, how helpful, has the right to take it from you. You're not alone. You're not paranoid. And if something feels wrong, trust that feeling. It might just save your life too.